We would like to thank our sponsors, Getaway Today. Use Getaway Today for all of your vacation planning needs. You'll get exclusive perks, great discounts, and the best customer service. Most importantly, their services are always free and easy, from experienced and passionate agents who love to make your vacation dreams come true. Head on over to getawaytoday.com from the link in our show notes to see their exclusive deals, and you can call 855-GET-AWAY and let them know Walt's Apartment sent you to start planning your next vacation today.
There was an idea. The idea was to bring together a group of remarkable people, see if they could become something more.
I have an army.
We have a Hulk.
This is the Marvel Tribe, brought to you by Walt's Apartment Podcast and the DisInsider.
Avengers!
Assemble.
Hey everyone, and welcome to the Marvel Tribe. We're a group of excited and passionate individuals who have come together to share our love of all things Marvel. We are brought to you by Walt's Apartment Podcast and the DisInsider.com. My name is Shawn, and I'm joined by an amazing group of Marvel nerds. Sam, Breanna, Bill, and Chris are all here tonight. From the big screen to the small print, feel the pulse in your chest so you know you're alive. One team, one love. It's the Marvel Tribe.
Whoop, whoop.
Whoop, whoop. How are we all doing tonight? Welcome to the Marvel Tribe. It is Sunday night, talking all things Falcon and Winter Soldier. Sam, how are you doing tonight?
I'm all right. A little
Good
sleepy.
deal. A little sleepy. Chris, how's it going there? You dodging lightning strikes?
Yeah, a little bit of crazy weather here in Florida, but excited for discussing this evening for the 4th episode.
They just
what did you do to upset Thor?
Right?
I played with the hammer.
I think they just didn't want WrestleMania in Florida, and they were trying to do anything they can do to stop it.
Yeah, you're right, Shawn.
Did it ever pick back up? Do you know?
They started it around 6 o'clock, I guess, Eastern time, and then the skies opened up, and I haven't been following since.
Yeah.
Bill, how are you doing tonight? Airbnb podcast. How you doing, my friend?
Yes, sir. I am good. What about yourself?
I'm doing all right. Just nice. Another beautiful day here in Oregon, and just got out. It's my one day off for this week. I have to work all week this week, so it will be. It was nice to get out and just kind of relax. Had Sunday dinner with the family and everything tonight, and but we are very excited to be joined by a special guest tonight here on the Marvel Tribe. We are joined by the pirate-loving, Muppet-hating Breanna from Walt's Apartment Podcast and Extra Magic Hour. How are you doing, Breanna?
Hey, I'm doing good. I will gladly be known for hating the Muppets forever. I will. Okay. Yep, it will be on my tombstone.
Oh, jeez.
Like everyone will know the legacy of me hating the Muppets.
Here lies Breanna. She loved the pirates and hated the Muppets.
Yes.
And there you go.
It's all I want.
I just saved you money.
We'll make sure it happens.
Thanks, guys.
So you did hear last Thursday night on Airbnb, Barry did call you out and wants you to be on their show.
I did.
Okay.
We'll have to make that happen.
Okay. You heard it.
You sound so excited about that.
I'm a little nervous about it. No, I think you guys are great. It'd be a lot of fun.
Fun.
They make me nervous too.
Right.
They don't make fun of anyone ever. No, not never.
Yeah.
They were really nice to me the first time I went on their show.
I mean, I'm pretty sure Barry said he was going to choke me. So.
Yeah. After saying that he was he had forgiven you, he went right back to that. I thought that was pretty funny.
But Sam, they did give you some. They just said they loved you and gave you some nice comments this week on their show as well. So,
I heard some of it. I felt like I missed something before that, where I was like, "What did they say about me that they have to say this?" But
I don't remember that part.
Was that it was enjoyable to see David as their guest. Unfortunately, we don't have David here this evening, though.
Yes, if you know He's not here now. So if you notice, David is not with us tonight. He wanted us to send his best wishes to everyone. He had a scheduling conflict that he could not get out of. We have great show plan. We're going to definitely talk about Falcon Winter Soldier. We got a couple of questions. I have a couple of questions for you guys. I think Bill asked us a question in our group chat today that I think is a good question, and we'll ask it now, then we'll talk about it later. Or do you want to wait till later to talk about it? What do you think?
I'm game to do whatever you
I think
like.
we ask it now, but then we'll answer it when we're done. So it gives all of our listeners something to think about and make them. It's called a hook.
It's like a tease.
A tease, yes.
Uh-huh.
We're going to talk about Captain America still being kind of a douchebag. I mean, well, he even proved himself this week.
Kind of?
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
I want to get thought.
I think he's full-blown douchebag at this point.
Full blown. Yeah.
I think he's a sociopath.
That was the most shocking thing I've seen on a Disney Plus show.
Oh, by far.
By far. All they need now is Deadpool to show up and say, "What the f happened? You know, what the f's happening here?" You know, so it was that shocking to me. Honestly, I thought it was absolutely crazy. But the question that we want to ask everyone, and you guys can think about this, and we'll answer this later on, is if you had the opportunity, would you take the Super Soldier Serum? So just think about that. We'll talk about it later. But we want to dive into our show. Sam, are you ready for a rundown of the Falcon and Winter Soldier episode 4?
I am, and Mr. Chris Alardi actually sent me the rundown today, so thanks,
Nice.
Chris. He's taken one for the team since I didn't feel well.
Appreciate
And
it, Chris.
he wrote it like a story, which I was like, why haven't I been doing it this way the entire time? So we're going to start doing it this way. Chris inspired me.
Once upon a time.
The little town in Germany.
No.
We started out 5 years ago.
Right. Okay, sorry. We'll shut up.
Thank you.
Hey, at least I'm on this week. At least I'm actually here.
I'm just kidding. I am so glad you're
wait
here.
Wait until about halfway through before you don't go jinxing yourself, buddy.
Right. Well, someone else is logged in too. As long as it still records, I don't give a damn. That's fine. Okay, let's go now. We'll start. Sorry.
All right, so this was the 4th episode of Falcon and the Winter Soldiers. It was called The Whole World is Watching. It opened with a flashback to Wakanda 6 years ago where Io was reprogramming Bucky. That was a very emotional scene. Then it jumps to them being in an alleyway in Latvia where Io cannot understand why, after all of the time and resources that Wakanda invested in helping Bucky, he has now freed Zemo. And Bucky tries to explain how they need Zemo. Io agrees to give him 8 hours with T'Chaka's killer, and then the Dora Milaje is coming for him. And they did. Zemo wonders if Sam has the will to do what needs to be done once Karli, who is just a child, is found. But Sam insists there can be a peaceful resolution. Zemo maintains that there's no separating a super soldier from supremacist ideals, and that things will only escalate once they kill Karli, or vice versa. Sam notes that the super soldier serum never corrupted Steve, to which Zemo notes, "Touché, but there has never been another Steve Rogers, has there?" Sam comes up empty when he's talking to the displaced teacher who does not want to be called displaced. Everybody ran from them basically when they went into that like hostile type area. Zemo chooses to give the kids candy and be the creepy guy giving kids candy while he's the Turkish delights while he's convincing the little girl to later lead them to the funeral. Sam calls Sharon to ask for her help tracking Walker, and she warns that the power broker has gone apeshit over Dr. Nagel being killed, and things in Madripoor are about to get really nasty. Karli and her henchman Nico are visiting a cemetery to retrieve the hidden satchel of Super Soldier Serum that they still had left over. Nico says he was once taught that if an action makes you scared, it's probably the right thing to do. He also said at one point or another he kind of idolized Captain America. Walker and Lamar find... Yes.
Looked up to him.
Yeah, he looked up to him. Walker and Lamar. Well, he's looking up to him in a different kind of way now.
Wow.
Walker and Lamar find and confront Bucky, Sam, and Zemo, who are on their way to intercept Karli at the funeral. Sam wanting to talk to Karli alone, and Walker wanting to go in hot because he has zero self-control. Led to the memorial service by the girl Zemo had spoken to earlier, Walker gave Sam just 10 minutes to talk Karli down. They're making great progress, and he understands her. She is like kind of opening up to him, wanting to trust him. And then Sam is telling her how Zemo is calling her a supremacist. Karli tries to dispute it, but Walker busts in before the 10 minutes is up and tries to make an arrest. So Karli feels betrayed. So all of that work that Sam was doing to try and work with her out the window because Mr. Impulsive Pants couldn't hold on to his shield long enough to calm down.
I don't think those were Chris's words.
I'm improvising as I go along.
Okay.
You wouldn't call him Mr. Impatient Pants?
Yeah, I think it was Impulsive Pants is what...
Impulsive Pants? He is an Impulsive Pants. The gunshot causes her to drop and scatter the serum vials. Zemo then smashes them with his boot. Walker arrives and knocks out Zemo. After Karli flees, Walker spots one stray, intact vial on the floor and then pockets it before Sam, Bucky, and Lamar arrive. You guys are so silly. Regrouping with Nico and Dovich, Karli reports that the vials were destroyed. Then Dovich gets a text from the power broker who demands the serum back, or I will find you and I will end you, is what the text says. Knowing they can't fight a battle on multiple fronts, Karli says she has a plan to separate Sam and Bucky and then hopefully kill Captain America. She says they do need to be separated. In their Latvia hangout, Zemo asks Sam if he was ever offered or would take the serum, which is the question we're going to be asking tonight. And Sam is very firm and very quick with his no. Walker arrives with Lamar to claim Zemo and interrupted by a vibranium spear thrown by Io, who has arrived with a fellow member of the Dora Milaje. Walker tells the Wakandan that she has no jurisdiction here, to which Ao counters, I have jurisdiction wherever I stand. Or the Dora Milaje has jurisdiction wherever the Dora Milaje stands. Or finds themselves. Walker makes the mistake of touching her, and a fight breaks out between him, Lamar, and the Dora Milaje, while Sam, Bucky, and Zemo casually observe. Eventually, Sam and Bucky do step in to prevent New Cap and Battlestar from getting hurt too badly or worse, and Ao pulls a swift and apparently secret move that instantly detaches Bucky's arm after the Dora Milaje leave, because Zemo has escaped like an El Chapo type movement through like a tunnel in the bathroom. He sighs that they weren't even super soldiers that bested him, Walker does. Oh, there's so much to go here. You guys are driving me insane. Okay, Karli calls Sarah, Sam's sister, asking whether she should trust Sam or not, or whether she should kill him, and says she thinks he's working for Cap. Sarah says he is not working for that man. They relay a meetup location to Sam. Sarah complies. Sam arrives at the meetup with Bucky. Karli claims she has no interest in hurting Sam and that doing so would be meaningless. She's asking Sam to basically join her. And then Sharon calls and says that Walker is moving in. Sam flies off while Bucky slugs it out a bit with Karli and drops in on Walker just in time to see Walker exhibit some crazy new strength. Wonder where that came from. Sam helps Walker search for an abducted Lamar, aka Battlestar, but just as they find him, a group fight with Karli and some flag smashers breaks out. Ultimately, Karli lobs Lamar at a stone pillar, against which he breaks his neck and then slumps over dead. R.I.P. Battlestar. That enrages Walker. He runs after the scrambling flag smashers, pinning down Nico in a public square, screaming, "Where is she?" Obviously asking about Karli. Walker bellows at the flag smasher. "It wasn't me," is what Nico is pleading. Remember, Nico is the one who said that he looked up to Captain America before. Then Walker uses his shields, raising it up to the sky, and smashes it down on Nico again and again and again and again. And then the shield is lifted up, drenched in the man's blood. A bunch of people are watching and recording their phones, and it was just very unheroic. It was brutal. And I think we all had to check ourselves and say, holy crap, is this Disney Plus?
Right.
David said, I think we witnessed a decapitation.
Yep. It's kind of sad. The guy said the last thing was that he's always looked up to Captain America. That's the last thing he saw, was looking up to Captain America before he got his head bashed in. That was crazy, man, on Disney Plus. You guys had all watched it before me, and Sam's like, oh my God. And Dave was like, I had to check if I was watching Disney Plus still. I'm like, what the hell's going to happen? I'm like, damn.
I clutched my pearls a little bit. I was like, oh my God. I was gasping for air. I was like, this is not happening. But yeah,
this is not one Haley can watch for sure.
No, yeah.
No. I'm surprised there wasn't a warning about that, honestly, because I know I was really surprised there wasn't some kind of they're doing the warnings for like the Peter Pan and stuff, like, before, just saying, hey, due to graphic violence at the last 30 seconds of the show, just be prepared or something. Now I was kind of surprised by that. But
I don't know that scene will stand the test of time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Crapped in America.
I think it opened the door for them to go and bring in Marvel characters that have that side to them.
Mm-hmm. Deadpool.
They're going to have to separate it somehow.
The Punisher.
Yeah.
The Punisher.
Oh, that's right. Chris is very excited and wanting the Punisher. So
Daredevil.
Yeah.
Again. How many versions of Daredevil do there have to be before they get it right?
Yeah, for sure. So, Breanna, our guest,
yes.
What was your overall thoughts of the episode? What'd you think?
I love this episode. I think it's trailing slightly behind episode 3 still for me, although the ending was definitely shocking. I think because they took the camera away from the actual hit to the kid, that is the reason that they don't have to have a shock, like a warning. But I think it's more shocking to us because we see it being done with Captain America's shield. Yeah. Like, I don't think anyone would expect the shield to be used as like a killing weapon.
Yeah.
Overall, again, I loved it. As I talked, when I asked to come on, I was like, I just want to cry over Bucky, which is what I do every episode. Watching the beginning scene, I did cry quite a bit. Like, oh my gosh. And that's all I want. I want to see more flashbacks of him in Wakanda. Like,
right. I didn't really understand that when he, I guess I kind of understood what happened to Bucky when he was in Wakanda, that they helped him, and I don't know a lot about his past. I just know a little bit of. I have not seen all that yet. So, but it opened my eyes up to a lot. Oh wow! So this guy he was obviously a terrible person, did a lot of bad things, but that they were able to crack the code basically and save him. So, yeah.
And then I think this episode fully proved how much Sam deserves the shield and how much he literally just schooled and was the voice of reason to every single character this episode.
Yeah. Sam, how about you? What'd you think?
I agree. It was great. I loved the flashback to Wakanda. Again, it's just a reminder how awesome Shuri is. Like, she knows what she's doing, and more people need to put their faith in her besides the Wakandans. I still am in shock over that last scene. I am actually really shocked by how quickly Battlestar entered and exited the show. So I'm curious to see. I want more about who the power broker is. I want to see that like this next episode because I'm tired of waiting. But it was good.
I saw some crazy theory out there. Someone asked if Lamar is actually dead because I mean, he was angry. He felt that maybe he didn't feel a pulse and got angry and went out and did. So we don't know what happens after this, though. But I saw someone say maybe he's not really dead or whatever. I don't know. But that's why
I thought that too. But I feel like as an audience, they would have gave us a clue to make that to make the ending even more shocking. I don't know, but that's how I feel. Like I feel like they would have gave us like a movement, a breath, something, so that ending was even more shocking to us if he was alive.
That's why I asked you guys in our group chat if he actually took the serum, and you all said absolutely yes, he took it without a doubt. And any videos I've seen that have broken it down has said the same thing. But we never actually saw him do it, so we really don't know. That's kind of where I'm at. You don't know. I mean, but he did seem a lot stronger and was bending pipes with his bare hands, at the end there. And Sam said, what did you do? So, but
between the shield getting stuck in the wall, between him making that jump out the window and landing on the car and smashing the car and landing in the superhero pose.
It's the best pose. Just ask Daredevil. I mean, ask Deadpool. Sorry. He loves that.
There's no doubt in my mind that the serum has been taken. I mean, there's no doubt.
There's a couple of scenes if you watch it. And actually, the last scene of the show is his hand twitching. And if you watch the one scene where they're walking together, and it's Zemo, Sam, and Bucky, all of them are walking, his head's twitching. His arms are twitching in certain scenes when he's talking. And you could tell that's their give. But whenever you want to know what I thought of the episode, let me know.
Oh,
because
Chris, what'd you think?
Not my favorite.
Yeah, you said that.
And the reason why, listen, the beginning scene, the flashback to Wakanda, amazing acting, exactly what we wanted. The end scene, the action there, and that whole bit, loved it. The story in the middle was very choppy. You can't, you have to show him take the serum. Don't get me wrong, it takes nothing away from the whole series and the body of work, but this episode was very choppy. I didn't need to see when they were in that abandoned castle, the flag smashes, and they're talking in that area, and I didn't need that. I didn't need to see them reflect on the bad that they did. The power broker now has access to anybody in the crew, not just like I didn't understand that. Like the power broker can send a text message to just anybody, and
he's got a good plan.
Disappointed me. So, but for the Dora Milaje to show up and not destroy that room, yes, it was a fight, and it was, but they would have, forget about Battlestar dying the way he did. They would have destroyed that room. I mean, they did the Nintendo secret button on Bucky's arm.
Right.
And when he put the arm back on, I don't know if you caught, he puts it back on the same way he does in Winter Soldier with that, like, I don't know, that swirl, like a pitcher that has a rotated cup.
Yeah.
But on a whole, like because of the non-super serum being injected to him, and it just wasn't one of my favorites. Like I said, great in the beginning, amazing ending, an arc, something done never before, but the middle just didn't match up for me.
I agree about the. Oh, sorry. I was going to say, I agree about not getting to see the serum, because if that's one thing we remember about like Steve Rogers' transformation, like everybody remembers, when he stepped in to take that serum.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's such a memorable scene. Yeah. That transformation is so important.
That's why I asked if he did it, because this is all a matter of like the same day. He could have taken the serum that quick. And do the powers come over that quick? Is there like a break-in period? I mean, obviously not. I mean, that's what I didn't get, and that's why I wasn't sure if he took it. That's why I asked you guys, because I didn't know, because he was talking to Lamar. They had the fight like within a couple hours, and then in another couple hours, he's jumping off buildings, laying on cars. So that's why I said he took it in a matter of like maybe 8 hours, and it activates that quick. That's why I wasn't sure.
I think it was within like 15 minutes.
I was like, maybe. Karli in the last episode, I thought she said like her veins were burning for hours, and that was all she can think of was the pain. So I was like, it definitely takes a little bit. I don't know how fast you feel the powers, but I mean, you're definitely in pain for apparently hours.
That's why I wasn't 100% sure. And I mean, I'm going to stick by my and still say I'm not 100% sure because like Chris said, like Sam said, they didn't show it, and Breanna said that's a big thing. Bill, what do you think of the episode as well?
I think they're going to go back and show it. I think that we'll see it before all is said and done. Okay. But I like the way they did it. I think it was a neat storytelling technique, and it really kind of drew you in, kind of like, is he going to do it? Oh my God, did he do it? And then kind of yeah, I really think he did it. I think it was brilliant the way they did that. Mm-hmm. The beginning where it was Bucky and Wakanda, that is genius storytelling. They were able to do kind of what they did in the beginning of Up and tell an entire story in about 30 seconds or a minute. They've come a long way with the storytelling. I really think that's amazing. They've come a long way with the villains. If you remember the early Marvel movies, the early MCU movies, everyone was like, Marvel doesn't have any interesting villains. And boy, have they really kind of changed that around recently. And everything is gray, right? You don't see black and white. It's no villain is just 100% bad guy, and no hero is 100% a good guy. There are shades of gray. 50 of them, I think.
Unless you're Steve Rogers.
Mm-hmm. But again, there was a lot of talk about that in the episode.
Yep.
You know, and everyone had their trials. Everyone was going through something in this episode. I think it was brilliant storytelling throughout. I really do. You know, the end, Steve, John Walker standing over him and going back and remembering in Civil War where Steve is over Iron Man and he comes down with the shield, and all he does is, break up, what's it called? His chest thingy. I think that's the technical term. And then threw the shield aside. And it was all... those two scenes looked very similar in the way that they did it, only John Walker kept pounding down, you know, and kept going at it. Of all of the episodes so far, I am most impressed with this one. And that goes, Chris, I agree with you that there was a little bit of choppiness in the episode. And I've heard, I don't know if I haven't been able to confirm this, but there was a subplot in this that involved a virus, which is what what's their name's mother figure died of. That had to all be cut out for obvious reasons of what's going on right now in the world. But as a result of that, I don't think the storytelling is as clear because there's a whole subplot that they had to pull out and kind of replace with other stuff, which is why sometimes when you look at, there's a moment where they were looking at news footage that is on a cell phone, and normally it's all branded. You see all of the fake news network that is in all of the Marvel shows. You didn't really see any of that this time around. But again, that's just what I've heard. I don't know if it's true or not.
Why would they talk about to do that though?
To get rid of the whole subplot of a virus.
I mean, look at this season of Grey's Anatomy. It is literally COVID.
Right.
So why get rid of it because it's Marvel?
I think because it's different. Grey's Anatomy is taking a real life thing and doing it. It was never meant to be COVID. It was just another deadly virus. And I think they made the decision, if we're trying to entertain folks, maybe we don't do it this way. I don't have all of the answers as far as why. I can only tell you that I heard a rumor that
the truck was full of vaccines, wasn't it?
Yeah, the truck was full of vaccines that never got mentioned again.
And they just said it once. And I'm like, whoa, they said vaccines. And it was just kind of odd. That actually popped in my head when I saw that, I'm like, damn, they said vaccines. That's just a weird timing. And how would this was done before all that? So it was, wow, Bill, that's a
yeah.
catch.
And if you listen to Nagel talk, when he says tuberculosis, you can absolutely tell it was dubbed over. It does not sound right at all. So they dubbed over that and put in TB instead.
Wow.
But they should have left it. It would have been more relatable.
I honestly think they should have left it as well.
I think it would have been better if it was left. I totally agree.
I think it's something kind of like 9/11. When they started taking everything out, they started taking different shows off. They couldn't air certain things. I'm a big fan of Halloween Horror Nights, where they couldn't use words like terror that year because everything was just, they didn't want it to relate back anything to 9/11. So I think that was kind of a way they took about it. I also kind of wondered if it was a mask thing because, like, obviously no one's wearing masks in this, and they didn't want to promote something that was so close to our virus, and like seeing people not take the precautions that we're taking in real life. That I have no idea if any of that is true. It's just kind of stuff that kind of went through my brain when I did learn that they had to go through reshoots to get rid of the virus subplot. So,
but they did have Turkish delight.
Sounds really good too.
I hear that they're disgusting.
Yeah, I have heard very bad things.
I have only heard of them in The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. That's the only other time I've ever heard of that.
I had to write a book report on that book. Damn. Oh, jeez.
I mean, if you're a displaced child, you're probably not getting much candy. So take your Turkish delights.
Yeah, and
probably don't talk to strangers. Kids don't talk to strangers.
He's creepily singing as he's walking up to them, and that's just like a no. Like,
maybe they thought he was like Mr. Rogers. Maybe they thought he was like Mr. Rogers.
A friend of mine told me that the song he was singing actually has a back meeting for him. The song was Baba Black Sheep. Yeah. I don't know the meaning, and my friend that I know is listening is a little conspiracy theorist, so I'm not going to go out there. I don't know if that's true or not. But I thought Zemo became a leader in that scene. He took control, and he showed the Avengers, basically, this is how you go about it, right? Because they were going about all their, if you want to say, like, detective ways. And he knew candy to children to get the information, and he got exactly what he needed. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I thought that was done very well.
Yeah, he definitely went to the kids because he knew they would crack first. But I feel like he took control because he knew he needed control, or he was getting taken by the Wakandans.
But does he? So there's another question, right? Does he know that when Bucky came back after would she say 8 hours? I'll give you 8 hours before we take them. Does Bucky actually say they're here for you?
Yeah, he comes in, he walks in and goes, the Wakandans are here, but I bought us some time.
Yeah.
But like, does
and then he
Zemo
says, and then he goes and sits down. And he's like, maybe we should give them to the Wakandans now. And then Zemo goes and lose your tour guide.
Yeah.
He knows they're there.
He knows. And if he's not, he's smart enough to figure out why they're there.
And I'll just say, go ahead, Bill.
I was just going to say, so Baba Black Sheep, the meaning behind the song was about heavy taxes and the poor becoming poorer and the rich getting richer kind of thing. So I can see how it would play into a situation where these people, the Flag Smashers all feel that they're being left out and stuff like that. So
plus Zemo is filthy rich.
Right.
Mm-hmm, yeah. Mm-hmm. And filthy rich enough to have Turkish delights.
And to have a driver waiting for him when he gets out of prison.
But his fridge was broken, so that's kind of messed up.
And a private airplane.
Yeah. With a broken fridge.
So they come after him, right? The Dormilaje come in to that scene. And I thought it was, you want to talk about not saying the virus or things like that. And they say he pulled an El Chapo.
I thought that was the best line in the whole show.
But and David also, that he in our text, he's in our group, he said Zemo pulled a Shawshank Redemption.
Except for he hadn't been there long enough to dig that hole.
Right. I'm sorry.
It was Zemo's apartment or Zemo's hiding space.
Yeah.
Right. So him knowing where that's at makes perfect sense. He just pushed back the tub, and there was the escape hatch already in there.
It was very El Chapo.
I take back my comment. That was not the best line. The best line of the whole show was that the Dora Milaje has the jurisdiction wherever they feel like it. I thought, I'm like, oh, damn. Okay, girls.
Dora Milaje has jurisdiction wherever the Dora Milaje finds themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I love that line.
Get it, girls.
What I love most about that is how Steve Rogers somehow, or not Steve Rogers, but John Walker feels he has jurisdiction in the middle of Germany.
Right.
Again, just I think it speaks to how
arrogant,
unhinged he kind of is.
Watching him before he even picked up the serum, like when he wouldn't even give Sam that 10 minutes alone with Karli, he was like, sorry for anybody listening, but he was like a crackhead tweaking for his next fix.
No, I agree. Yeah. That's a good analogy. Actually, yeah, he knew he wasn't going to wait.
He couldn't. He had zero impulse control. That's why I called him impulsive pants.
Our apologies to all of the crackheads who are listening to this tonight.
No offense.
Right. And if you're listening, thank you. So we appreciate that.
Yeah. Mm.
We do not mean to compare you to John Walker.
The Marvel Tribe fix is in.
Yeah. I did not like in the scene of the I apologize, I don't have the exact word. He said like spear thingies.
Pointy sticks.
Pointy sticks.
Yeah. And I was like, are you kidding? These people are going to kill you. And that's what I wanted to see in that. But I mean, it fit. I think that was where they say about the knives. Why are there so many knives? Is that when?
That's a little bit later. I think.
That's later on.
Yeah.
Those two were like, whatever.
But then when Walker says, he says this, they didn't even have the super serum, or they weren't even super soldiers, and they almost just
like,
kicked his ass.
They're just some badass girls.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They're like,
and they're
like the most powerful fighters without being enhanced.
Yeah.
And then she was able to do the kick up with the shield that you usually only see Cap do, right? And he does it, she does it, and she's holding it. And I was like, that was an impressive scene for me because you don't see the shield in many people's. I don't know. That's what I got out of that one.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I love when they pinned him to the table with the shields.
Oh, I thought that was hilarious.
I loved it because I was like, you pansy ass little. But that for me, that was that. Okay, we better stop before we get in trouble.
Again, our apologies to all of the crackheads listening tonight.
Okay. No, addiction is real. Please get help if you have an addiction. Marvel Tribe loves you. But that for me was what like solidified he took the serum, because you go from that to where he's pinned to the table to, I don't know, 20 minutes later in the show, 15 minutes later in the show, all of a sudden he has this super crazy strength and he's got the shield stuck in the wall and pulling it himself. Like, he took it.
So we didn't, again, resident Bucky simp here. We didn't talk about my favorite line was when Sam goes, Bucky, we should do something. And Bucky just looks at him and goes, looking strong, John. And I was like, Bucky is the president of John Walker Hate Club, and I love it so much.
well, then you had Zemo just sitting there, just drinking his drink, just kind of like, that.
How did he get unhooked from the tank they handcuffed him to?
I'm assuming he just had something because it showed that it was unlocked. Zemo sounds like someone who would carry something to pick a lock with.
I mean, yeah.
Same way he was able to get cash. I don't know what was in that bag. We only saw one bag. out of the car a couple episodes ago.
Do you think we've seen the last of Zemo in Falcon and the Winter Soldier? I don't think we've seen the last of him, period.
No.
But do you think we've seen the last of him? Do you think he'll be in the next 2 episodes? Is what I'm getting at.
I think he'll be in the last episode.
Yeah.
Somehow.
Yeah.
He'll show back up and prove his worth. He'll prove, in my opinion, that it was worth what they did to bring him out of prison to help them. I think he'll help them somehow. And
I'm afraid he's going to turn on them.
You think so?
I'd turn on Bucky at least. He wants his mission.
I think that Bucky and Sam are going to let him go.
No.
No, Bucky can't.
Yeah,
can't. That's Wakanda would turn on him.
Yeah, I think Wakanda would not be happy about that.
Showed a lot of guilt in this episode. One with talking with Io, and then when Io took off his arm, you saw this betrayal and guilt all in his face. I think he's feeling guilty about it. I still think he's using Zemo, but
Sam
I think
says,
he felt
"Did you know
guilty.
he could do this? Do you know they could do that?"
Yeah, he's just no. I'm the
but
people
then he puts on his arm and fires it back up the same way he did in Winter Soldier. Just that was fun. Anyone else want to see Io and Bucky together? Did anyone else get a little bit of a vibe?
Not Breanna. Breanna doesn't.
But
yes,
we won't go down that road of all of the things Breanna wants to do with Bucky.
I felt it was equivalent to Black Widow and Hawkeye relationship.
Oh, okay.
That's what I felt between them.
I was like, she's a bossy big sister. That was the vibe I got.
Would you, Bill? Would you like to see them get together?
It's the romance that I didn't know I wanted until I watched this episode.
Yeah, I can kind of see that, but yeah, maybe.
I think she'd kill him. He would irritate her so much that she would kill him.
It's possible.
Yeah.
So we kind of we didn't do a recap. We did a recap, but we didn't go scene by scene. But that's totally fine. We went off track, and that's totally fine. But
there wasn't a lot. Yeah, there weren't a lot of Easter eggs to digest. Anybody notice any Easter eggs we didn't talk about?
I don't really have Easter eggs, but I did notice a lot of just little. Again, I kind of talked about Sam being the voice of reason to everyone.
Yeah, he did. That did show a lot in this episode. Kind of talked everyone down. I thought that was very cool.
Bucky talking about Zemo being the means to his ends, and then Bucky talking about how can Karli really justify her the means to her ends, and then Sam being dude, yeah, and then Sam talking down Zemo when Zemo's going on about supremacists and gods, and he looks at him and goes, "Well, isn't that how gods talk?" And then he goes to Karli, and Karli's talking about, she's like, "No, I'm destroying supremacy. I'm going through all this." And he's like, "But are you?" Right. And I just think it shows how he is the one level-headed enough to become Captain America at the end of this.
Yep. I think he needed this journey to respect and understand himself enough to be able to take on the shield. He had to grow.
Yeah. And him being the opposite of Walker, who Walker's ready to take this serum, no questions asked, and Sam's ready to say no questions asked.
Let's talk about
one Easter egg. Easter egg, and I was proud of it because it took me a long time to research it. But Sam's phone, when Karli calls, when Sam's sister calls, right, to say that she was contacted, his phone they purposely stopped it at 3:12 on his phone. And in the comics, that's the first issue of the introduction of the Flag Smasher. So that was the connection there.
That in our group.
And then I wouldn't say Easter egg, but a connection. John Walker in the comics, his parents get killed and murdered. And after they get killed, he goes on a killing spree. So while Disney Plus, yes, the shock and awe, I thought they would save it more for while he becomes the U.S. agent or whatever, that nasty character. But they put it in today. So that's all I got for that.
What about Power Broker? I mean, I'm still going with it, Sharon. She is moving through those gunned people like there's nothing going on. I think that they're putting a bunch of Easter eggs and things out there to trick our brain. I do not think we're going to get a big reveal. Like, we wanted Mephisto, we didn't get Mephisto, and I think we're setting ourselves up for that again.
I saw one breakdown of a video, and they did point out that when she talked about the Power Broker, she did say him. So I don't know if it is her, but I think but I think she's very closely connected to him.
Yeah.
So I don't know enough about all of this to know actually what it could be. I mean, Sharon's cool in my book. I don't know. Is she not cool?
I don't think Sharon's cool.
Okay.
But there are a lot of with her. There are a lot of theories out there, right? Number one, if she is Power Broker, I think it's kind of one of those things where it's in a long line of Power Brokers, kind of like the Dread Pirate Roberts in The Princess Bride. So they keep passing it off from one person to another. That's the only way that I can see her being in that position, given where she was 5 years ago or 6 years ago, however long ago it was.
Okay.
There's always the chance that she's still working for S.H.I.E.L.D. in some capacity and is just super deep undercover.
It wouldn't be S.H.I.E.L.D. now, though. It would be S.W.O.R.D., right? Yeah,
S.W.O.R.D. Or she could be one of the Thunderbolts if indeed they are setting up for the Thunderbolts somewhere down the road. We can see her there. You can see U.S. agent there. You can see a whole lot of people.
So is she setting Bucky and Sam up then?
She could be.
Okay.
That's definitely possible.
Yeah, because you could blame them for killing Nagel, and the Power Broker's not happy about that. Yeah. So,
and the scene where she's walking through the tunnel and all these henchmen, and she's nodding to them, and she's talking on the phone to Sam. By the way, that's in Atlanta. I recognize that graffiti. There's a bunch of graffiti in that. That's a big, famous spot in Atlanta. But she's fine, right? And they do a close-up on her on the phone. And then she lets them know where John Walker is. And her lip is busted. And her knuckles are all bloodied. Now, is it from what Bill had just said, and maybe there's cuts and parts that because of editing due to the way this episode was, and that's supposed to be from when we first see her in that fight, and it's just bad editing, which I doubt Disney would do that far? Or did she get into some scuffle that they didn't show between talking on the phone and finding where he is? I don't know. I just noticed her knuckles were all busted up first.
I'm going to say I don't think that we're going to get a new character reveal in the next 2 episodes. I sincerely do not think so. Nope. So I'm going to say I don't think we will. And if so, that means if Sharon's not the Power Broker, we're likely not going to find out who the Power Broker is.
Because there's rumors out right now that the next episode's over an hour long, and that the director even said that there's a ground level cameo, like not like a huge like Thor type character, but like a cameo from another MCU
director.
I'm saying yes, like other MCU characters. I'm saying somebody who hasn't been in the MCU before. I don't think we're going to see.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
I actually heard a rumor that there is going to be a reveal in the next episode. It's not going to be someone who shows long term, just someone who will make an appearance. People will know who it is as a Marvel type character. And then it'll kind of be a one and done type thing.
Okay.
Kind of like Battlestar.
Oh, damn. Rest in peace, Battlestar.
He made it through 4 episodes. Thank you.
3.
David,
3.
Yeah,
right?
3. David was so excited because he was going to be, Battlestar wasn't he like the mascot or the sidekick of, he thought that was cool that he had a part, but that sucked. I was kind of like, damn, that guy got done dirty.
And honestly, he was the only thing holding John Walker together. He was
Yeah, there's
trying to be
nothing-
John Walker's voice of reason, and he was
there's
not doing a
nothing
good
to-
job of it.
Nothing to control him now.
It was the opposite of the Bucky and Steve relationship,
Yeah.
you know, where Bucky was always kind of the one who's a little more unhinged, and Steve was the voice of reason. And here it was almost the exact opposite. And wah wah.
So I
Well,
wanted
the
to touch
only-
on that. Oh, go ahead, Chris.
I'm sorry. The only one that lasted shorter than him was the gentleman that played Don Cheadle's character first.
Oh,
Who's the
Rhodey.
first-
Oh, come on.
Oh,
Just
original
saying,
Rhodey.
he's the shortest,
Oh,
shortest
original
tenure in the
Rhodey.
Marvel universe.
So Sam did mention that about a cameo. So I was going to ask everyone about that tonight. Does anyone what are your guys' thoughts on who that cameo would be? Sam, you think nobody's coming?
I'm not getting my hopes up.
Okay, that's Wanda did that to us, huh? Got our hopes up for all this stuff,
Yep.
and you thought it was going to be Mephisto, and you thought it was going to be this, and Wanda.
Well, you thought it was going to be Mephisto.
Oh,
Oh, come on now. I have not made any bets on this, and I will not make any bets on this. But what if it is a Mephisto on this?
Oh
How
gosh.
cool would that be?
it is not Mephisto.
Oh.
Stop.
Okay. Well, all right. So, Chris, do you think there'll be any kind of cameo? And if so, who do you think it'll be?
We'll see the reveal of Power Broker. I think that might be the shock and awe of who. And I want it to be Thunderbolt Ross to bring that end in, but I don't think they're going to do that into a Disney Plus show. So just show a dark shadow and someone with a gun and make it the Punisher and make me happy. That's it.
Okay. Breanna, what do you think?
I don't know.
Wait.
Okay.
What if they are like on the side of water? What if it's Namor?
There you go.
Stop. Wait, because this is the
Oh,
Invaders,
sure.
right? It could be the Okay, the Invaders. If Sam takes over the mantle, right?
So
I can't wait for Sam to be right about that because she's locked in on that and she's not going to let it go.
See, eventually Sam's going to be right about Namor if Namor ever shows up in something again, because basically what she does is she turns everything into Namor.
No.
So she's wrong like 900 times, but the one time that she'll be right, she'll be like, well, I told
dedicated.
you so.
Wait, like
He's,
the Invaders.
It's called
Stop.
Luca.
No, Chris, the Invaders. I'm not making this up.
Yes.
The Invaders are Captain America as Sam Wilson, Bucky Barnes, the Human Torch, the Iron Cross, Namor, Radiance, and Toro.
I'm rooting for you, Sam. Honestly,
Yeah.
I mean, I finally looked up Namor in my Marvel encyclopedia, and I do understand why you want him in the Marvel universe. Just saying.
But also because of the whole thing that happened with Wanda and the No More Mutants, and then, he's the first mutant to rise out of that. He's the first mutant.
Okay.
Chris is
Bill?
like, shut up, Sam.
Zola.
No.
Zola.
You think it's Zola?
Zola is a power broker.
Okay. Is that the
That's,
cameo?
No, I don't think that's the cameo. I don't know who the cameo is. I am not educated enough in all of the backstories to know who it might be. So I'm not going to take a stab at that. I
I'm
can
just
only tell
rooting
you
for
that I heard
Wanda
a
or
rumor.
Deadpool. That's what I'm rooting for.
I know why you're rooting for Wanda.
And Deadpool's my favorite character, so yeah. I miss Wanda.
She misses you too, buddy.
I'm sure.
Listen, there's times where I go a little off the deep end and looking into too much. I mean, to the point that I had a conversation last evening that Zemo was drinking cherry blossom tea, right? And they threw it against the wall. Well, there's a character named Cherry Blossom in the Marvel Universe. And how does that tie into Captain America and all of that? And then I just said I had bad connection on the phone and hung up on my friend. So
I mean,
You've just sold
a
yourself
lot
out
of
for that,
people
friend.
drink cherry blossom tea, though.
it's a character. It's a character.
I know it's a character, but
So none of us have any idea who we think it is.
No.
No.
Mm-mm.
I
Except
will
Sam
say
is sure
that
it's Namor. So
I'm not sure it's Namor. But I do think that by the end of Ant-Man, will be introduced to the rest of the invaders.
Okay.
So I think Breanna's going to like something that I have changed my mind on. And I'm probably 100% wrong.
He hates Muppets now.
Yes.
I think the rage of what we just saw the episode end with, and being that now the shield is going to be, someone's going to take out John Walker, right? They got to just whack him right there or do something to him. I am now leaning that Sam is not the next Captain America, and Bucky picks up the shield.
See, no, I want Sam to be.
It's happened in the books. It's happened in the books.
Wow.
So Bucky was Captain America for a long time. And the reason why is the one line from the promos from the beginning of the shows, we look damn well together. Well, if the Falcon is in his outfit and Bucky's as Cap, then they do look damn well together.
I mean, that's true. I mean, he can't. I mean, he's not going to be the Winter Soldier again.
What's the worst that could happen? I'm wrong.
No, that's like, right. He's got to do something. He's got to become a hero in some regard.
It's the only way to show him separated from the Winter Soldier. So,
But then that makes me sad for Torres.
Oh, Torres.
Poor Torres.
Torres is going to be the new is the new Falcon, isn't he?
Not if
Bucky's the new Cap.
Capped up. Damn, Chris.
I don't know.
Look at him. He's just sitting there with that big old smile on his face. He's just.
It's just a theory. I don't know.
Wow.
Just something that
They show so much about.
Wait a
Sam
second.
Getting this. Uh-oh.
What if Torres is X-Wing now? I correct myself. Red Wing. That's what I meant. Red Wing.
Red Wing.
What if Torres turns out to be Namor?
Boom. There you go.
I need to see him in the water first.
From the pictures I've seen, I think he's a little too scrawny to be Namor.
True that. We're talking like Jason Momoa here.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I think he's already got a job in the sea.
I don't care. We will find his lookalike or someone that looks better in the water.
But I did like the carry through from the title of the show that everyone is watching, and that was carried throughout all the way to the end with either the Fisher Price phones or the iPhone that they were filming everybody on. And that, it brings you to current day situation of police
social
brutality.
Media. TMZ, that kind of thing. That's going to be on. It's going to be on TMZ next week. That's going to be like their main story. So,
we didn't talk about Sam and Karli's conversation, which I think was incredibly important. And had John Walker not stormed in, could have really changed things.
Mm-hmm.
And
how that?
I think that it would have made Karli go down the right path instead of the continue to go down the wrong path.
But the right path is still not going to be good enough for the for the government.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying that it completely changes what happened. She still bombed that building.
But I'm saying the government's never going to be okay with her taking from the rich and giving to the poor. Like that, the government is never going to stop punching her.
I'm not sure I see your point. I that doesn't mean that they can't go down a better road and make a better version of what was happening. Yes, is the government going to agree with her? No, they're not. Right. But that doesn't mean that there's no redemption for the character by having Sam continue to talk to her. I think that scene was very important. I'm just wondering if somehow they're going to try to get her redemption before the end of the series. I doubt it. I don't know. I'm not sure, but it does make me wonder if all is lost. I know Zemo said was it Zemo that said she was lost?
I think so.
Yeah.
I thought, definitely excellent acting by Anthony Mackie in that scene, showing back to, and Bill, you had mentioned it a couple of episodes ago, that when he talks to the soldiers in the rehabilitation part, of just seeing how caring and the openness of him, and I felt that in that scene that you're talking about right now.
Yeah, and he agreed a lot with.
He does. He has empathy. He understands.
Yeah, for sure.
But I'm still going to take it back to, yes, she can be redeemed as a person, but to fulfill her mission, she has to remain a fugitive. She's never going to get the governments of the world together post-blip to get everybody everything they need.
So one of the few questions I was going to ask you guys tonight, and that was, I'll go over it real quick, round robin with you guys. Chris, does Karli make it out of this series?
Alive or arrested?
Alive. Does she?
Alive, yes, but detained.
Okay, Sam.
I'm going to say no, and I'm going to say it's going to be by her own actions.
Oh, wow. Okay. All right. Breanna, what do you think?
I don't think so.
Yeah. Bill?
Yeah, I like Sam's thought there. That she would sacrifice herself for the good of that. Honestly, that's not something I really ever thought about, is where she would go. So outside of saying that I like Sam's idea, that's as far as I can go on that.
I don't think she'll make it. I think John Walker will kill her. That's just that's my thought on that. I think because of what happened with Lamar. That's my thought on that. So, but yeah, that was one question I had.
See, I want to see if there is going to be some sort of redemption arc for him.
God, I hope not.
Because I can see if they do turn him to U.S. agent, and if they do form the Thunderbolts, which are all big ifs, somehow he's got to turn things around. So it'll be interesting to see if that happens here or not.
I'd love to watch him get electroshock therapy.
I don't think
screwed up head.
I'm hoping episode 5 should take place right where he's standing there with the bloody shield and Bucky's like punching the back of his head to like take him down, to stop. I was very surprised they didn't show, unless that's part of episode 5, of someone trying to stop him from.
I think all of that just happened so fast.
Yeah, I was going to say, you see Sam and Bucky get there like after he's standing up from killing.
And I mean, it's shock. Everybody's just in shock, but it's like, is he?
Come on, they're Avengers.
No, I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about the
people, and
people watching.
Oh, yes.
Obviously, nobody there was going to interfere. But yes, I agree with Breanna. They got there when it was too late, and then they're kind of just standing there dumbfounded, like, "What the hell just happened?" But do you think now that he is going to be stronger than Bucky?
I don't know. I mean, Bucky has that arm, and I think that there's more to that arm than meets the eye.
What if he figures out the cheat codes?
You don't get a full Wakandan-made arm and not have some sort of special features in it.
You get Shuri secrets.
Yeah.
Did you notice when the arm was off that there were little hexagons in it? It was Agatha all along.
It was also purple, which I know they use in Wakanda, but it was purple like Agatha.
Yeah.
But
we all agree after the what the director said, and I think Bill, you sent it out. We want to see Black Panther, but it is too soon for him to come.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things. There was an article this week. I don't remember who wrote it, so shame on me for that. But it basically said that the head of Marvel, Feige, came out and said no, you're not going to see him. I don't want anyone thinking that's going to happen. That's not fair to the viewers. I don't want to build up speculation on that. You're not going to see it, which I think was a very classy thing to do.
Yeah.
Just to, I think that they are treating Chadwick Boseman and all of that with a whole lot of respect.
For sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Did you know about the arm and Feige? You guys know that? Why in every one of his movies? Do you know that it's an ode to Empire Strikes Back? That in every Marvel movie, somebody loses an arm.
Really?
Every Nebula. I'll send you guys all the clips, but every movie, somebody loses an arm. Yeah. And that's his ode to Empire Strikes Back. How it made a
He's a big Star Wars fan.
Yes.
Maybe the purple glow, maybe the purple inside of the arm was actually runes.
Jello.
Jello.
Let's back to Wanda. Yes.
I did that just for you, Shawn.
Thank you. I appreciate
Except for
it.
I was talking about Agatha, not Wanda, because they were purple.
It was
everything still comes back to Wanda. So
no, it comes back to Agatha.
All right, fine.
So what was your other question, Shawn?
Did you guys talk about the serum?
Not yet.
No.
Okay, we'll do that last. I do have another question.
We're gonna be here a while.
No, I just have two more, then we'll stop.
Well, no, because we still have the would you take the serum too?
Yeah, I have one question and then that.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
Yeah. How do I word this? So
it's Bill's bedtime.
I know. Well, I'll hurry, Bill. So Chris doesn't think that Chris thinks Bucky might become Captain America. So that kind of took away that question, which was, when do you guys think Sam will get the shield? Because he obviously gets the shield because they show him practicing with it. So I'll just ask that question each of you real quick. Sam, when does Sam get the shield, whether or not he keeps it or not? When do you think he actually gets the shield? There's 2 episodes left.
I think we will see a new Captain America in this upcoming episode.
Really?
Okay. I think we will see somebody else hold the shield that is not John Walker.
Okay, fair enough. Chris, what do you think?
Sam should get the shield, get some ShamWow, and wash it off.
Clean it up for sure. That's for sure.
Yeah, he's going to need a lot of ShamWow.
Yeah,
but
sure.
Again, my speculation.
Is that how you get rid of blood?
Oh, sure.
ShamWow.
Everybody knows that. Yeah.
We'll start. Yeah,
that's what. What's that peddler's name? The one who promoted the ShamWow.
Tony something, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think it is Tony. Yeah, I know it's not Brian May or not Brian May. That's the Queen.
That's
guy.
yeah.
But
I digress. Chris, sorry, what were you saying, friend?
So if you would take what would just happen, we just watched I refuse to call him Captain America. So more on Walker.
Captain America. There we go.
A psychopath.
Just basically commit murder, right?
Yeah.
And now for someone right away to be the next person in that outfit, I don't think we're going to see that. Because even as messed up as the government is with this, you can't just replace that and keep that on everyone's mind that this idol has just committed murder.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I'm going away from the full on Captain America outfit.
Yeah. And I don't see it happening next episode just because Sam wasn't sure that the shield should even exist. Now there was 2 episodes in a row. Last episode with Sam saying that he thought the shield should be destroyed. And then in this episode, the Dora Milaje. Or no, I think it was the Dora Milaje and saying that it should be destroyed as well. So I don't see Sam just kind of going, wow, that shield that has blood on it, I should really try to redeem it. I don't see that happening like that.
I don't think I think we're going to know who takes the shield the next episode.
Right.
I think we're going to know who's going to get it in the future. We're going to see that. That's what I don't think anybody's going to suit up as Cap in the next episode.
So I think it's going to take a while. I think that if they may introduce it at the end of the 6th episode for future movies. At this time, I don't think that with everything going on, I don't think that it's time to stop everything to appoint a new Captain America.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Breanna, what do you think?
Yeah, well, I think that this kind of proves to Sam that he should get the shield back, that fully he made a mistake. Like, I mean, I think he knows that, but I think this has this proven, yeah, I have to get this shield back moment. I do think that he will get it back the next episode. Again, yeah, I don't think he's going to suit up as Captain America, but I do think he will have the shield back by the next
I don't think
episode.
he's returning it to the government, is my point.
No, yeah,
Right.
it's not. Yeah, it's time for them to take over. I love every single thing, but I still think Sam should be Captain America.
Wow.
But I will see Bucky in that suit all the time. Like,
Can you send it? Can you send that to her?
With Kermit's head.
Oh man, with Kermit's head.
Oh
Okay.
my god.
So last question. We start off the
one
show.
of Kermit's ears. That's a throwback to the Wednesday Walt's apartment episode.
I heard it was great. It's got the most views of any of our live streams, so it's something that's weird. I was off of it. There's a lot of
Oh, good. So just Shawn and I will just disappear, and it should be fine.
Okay, so last question. I have David's answer. He messaged us in the group. So
Yeah, I saw it too. Yeah.
we asked Bill asked all of us if we would take the Super Soldier Serum. I'll start. I said yes. Why not? Why the hell not? Let's give it a try. Let's go. It's supposed to make the gooder, I guess. Is that a word? That's not a word, right? Teach?
Oh, sure.
Better. Okay.
The good, more gooder.
The good, more gooder, or better. And so I guess you find out who I really am. I'm really bad, if I'm really good. But yeah, I think I would do it. Why the hell not? I wouldn't mind being stronger than I already am. So, Sam, what do you think? Would you take it?
I would, because I think I could be as pure of heart as Steve Rogers.
All right.
Shut up, my Leo is shining.
Okay.
See, you couldn't even say that without laughing. So
I know.
I'm calling-
When
I'm
I
calling
know
bullshit on this.
I would do it. I would do it, and I would do what's best for people. I may be bossy when I do it, but I won't be John Walker bossy.
I don't think anyone can be that bossy. That guy's a tool, man. Jeez. Okay. So, Breanna, what do you think? Would you take the serum?
Yeah, I would take the serum. I don't know what it would make me like, but I don't think I could say no. So
You don't know unless you try. That's my
Right.
thought on it.
it's kind of how it is. Like, I mean, I'm like that in real life. I can really never say no to an opportunity. So I know I would never say no to the serum.
Okay.
Did you guys even watch the last episode?
But he was already a piece of garbage to start
I mean,
with.
yeah, he was. I mean, I don't think I'm as shitty as John Walker.
The conversation was that there's really only one Steve Rogers. There's only
bullshit.
one
There could be
person
another
who was
one.
that pure who could do it, and no one else has ever been successful with the serum other than Steve.
Okay,
Sam
well,
could
this
do it.
could
You could do it, Sam. I think you could do it. You
this
both can.
could
You too,
totally
Breanna.
go
There you go.
back to our conversation we had in our group chat last night about Walt.
Oh, don't even get me going on that right now.
Just saying.
That was done simply to mess with you guys.
Oh, I went to bed just, oh my God, I'm going to talk about Walt Disney that way. You just talk about, okay.
Oh
Sorry.
my.
So I would not take the serum. It makes the good better and the worse more worse. And for that, I feel I can control that on my own. I want to become better. I can become better and do better things.
But you can't become
And
strong.
Yes, I can. I could work out.
But
I
not as
can-
strong as like a super soldier.
Yeah, if adrenaline and I saw somebody get hit by a car in front of me, I guarantee you I could lift that car off of them due to adrenaline. So I don't think I need something artificial that could possibly go wrong and change my outcome of who I am. Steve
you a
Rogers
goody-two-shoe?
is a test subject. What did you say?
That's aren't you a goody two shoe? I'm sorry.
No, it's just I'm sorry. It's a good point. It is a very good point. No, Chris understands himself to know that it could go good, it could go bad, and he doesn't want to see what the bad would look like. I, on the other hand, I'm like, everything would be great. I'm just gonna, manifest that I am this great super soldier and everything's gonna be fine.
Perfect.
John Walker thought so too.
John Walker is a prickhead. Are you comparing me to John Walker?
I am simply saying.
I'm sorry. I just wanted to say, John Walker, 3 medals of honor. If we're taking a character that we've seen in 4 weeks portrayed, but if you look at like his body of work of who that character is, a war hero, what did he do wrong up until he became Captain America?
He has PTSD.
Nothing. Definitely has PTSD. There was a line.
Something wrong.
No, but that's why he's not stable enough to hold the mantle. Yeah. He wasn't stable enough to take the serum.
He didn't ask for it. We gave it to him.
But the serum was a choice that he made.
That's different. You just jumped like 4 episodes.
Okay, but what I'm saying...
Bill, would you take the serum?
I would not take the serum. Because, again... the whole crux of the episode was all about there aren't many people who could fully shine. All of us have a good side and a bad side. I have seen enough of my bad side to know that when I get angry, I get angry. And if that is going to manifest itself in a larger sense than it already does, I don't want any part of that. The reality, yes, there are a lot of, I've talked at great length. You guys have all heard, Cap is my favorite. Cap is my favorite superhero in all of the Marvel Universe. And without a doubt, my favorite. But I'm not Cap. I'm not that good. I don't think I'm a bad person, but I'm not that good. And I don't want to be responsible for what I would do in my worst moment.
I would talk people to death in my worst moment.
You do.
I do. And then I would. And then I would just my biggest thing is a super soldier would just be convincing everybody that I'm right about everything. I would just make them sit there and listen to me talk until they agree with me.
And you still think it's a good idea to take the serum?
Yeah, that's not.
Okay.
Just
what was
talking.
David's answer? What was David's answer?
Oh yeah.
Well, he
said no
because he's a Hulk already, so it isn't needed. So
that means he's had the serum.
That's possible. I would have loved to have had him here tonight to get his actual. He'd be like, "Oh man, let me tell you," and then telling us and stuff. But I would love to hear his explanation. Maybe let's ask him next week when he's back, because I want to hear his reason why he wouldn't take it. And I think it's going to be a lot like Bill's. Bill, that was actually made me kind of think about changing my mind for a second, but I said, "Oh hell no, I got to see what that shit's going to do."
I was gonna say, yeah. I was like, I thought that too. I was like, yeah, maybe, but I was like, you want to know? I feel like I'm self-aware enough to know what I'm getting into my bad side.
Yeah.
I still want to know.
You did, Chris.
Yeah.
And then the rest of us are like, well, let's just throw shit into the wind and see what sticks.
I think me, Sam, and Breanna were like, hell yeah, let's do it. And Chris and Bill were like, guys, come on, think about this. And we're like, all right, we'll think about it for a second. No, we're still going to do it.
We all thought about it. We're like, no, but I still want to know.
You had some really good thoughts, but
yeah, just not enough for me. Sorry.
Yeah. Stick it in my arm. Let's go.
That's what she said.
Well, with that being said, this brings us to another rousing end of the Marvel Tribe this week. Bill, where can we find you all over the internet?
The best thing is Ear B&B Disney Podcast. We are on Facebook. And you can find the podcast wherever podcasts can be found. On Facebook every Thursday night at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. You can do the math for the other 2 time zones. There is a live stream of the podcast. We have another fantastic Airbnb story coming out in the next couple of weeks.
Nice.
But I can't do the math. You always have to tell me.
We always have to tell Sam when we're recording. So, Sam, where can we find you?
Disology Podcast. We are on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and then I am also on all of those places and Clubhouse at Samantha Mlodecki. Sammy Mlo.
What's the Disology topic this week?
How Walt invented the nature documentary.
Oh, that's right. Okay, cool. Check them out on Tuesdays is when their show comes out. Breanna, where can we find you?
You can find me on Walt's Apartment and Extra Magic Hour. And you can follow me on Instagram at Breanna_K7 and Twitter at Breanna_K.
Perfect. Thank you so much for coming on. We're so glad to have you with us. Mr. Disney Done Differently himself. Chris, where can we find you, buddy?
Thank you very much. And thank you, Breanna. This is actually the first time I've been on a show with you. So I felt like I know about the Pirates. But Disney Done Differently every Wednesday on YouTube. We're going with an oldie. I've actually had a lot of requests for this week. So one of the originals. So I have 3 of the 4 people that inspired the whole birth of the channel. And the first one was the Ronto rap. So you guys know how that all started. And guests have actually requested to see that again.
Nice.
Because of the lovely pictures that Bill and Barry put up on the Airbnb Disney podcast. So, as the
pork dog.
So this week there'll be a little tribute for it, and then I'm going to release the Ronto rap, the first ever episode I've ever made.
Nice. Look forward to that. So that's on Wednesdays, right?
Yeah, it comes out on Wednesday on YouTube.
And then Sundays, you do every now and then you do a video, or you do a video every Sunday as well?
I was doing the overrated, underrated, and never duplicated. But starting next Sunday, we're going to start doing top 5s. And anybody is actually on Facebook. There's a Disney Done Differently Facebook page. So if anyone has any suggestions, I'm sorry?
Which is actually called what, though? Like, if I'm looking for it, I have to search for what is the title of it?
Done Differently Disney.
Isn't it messed up? Isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, Facebook, blame Zuckerberg. He's probably took the Super Serum or something. But a lot of people have been requesting, so we're going to do the top 5 of resorts and food in the resorts. So Looking forward to that.
Looking forward to it. So thank you all for doing this with us. David, we missed you.
Shawn, what about where can we find you?
Well, I'm just excited to make their whole episode, but if you can find me here at waltsapt.com. You can find me at Big Papa Disney on Instagram for my 30 followers. Or you can find me at, like I said, on the Instagram pages, Walt's Apartment Podcast or the Walt's Apartment Podcast, because we have 2. We have 2 because we need 2 for some reason. So we have them. We're going to use them. Or obviously Wednesday nights on the live stream on Facebook at 6:30 Pacific time, 8:30 Samantha time, and 9:30 Bill, Barry, and Chris time. So from all of us here at the Marvel Tribe, I want to thank you, and we will see you next week. And have a good night, folks.
Bye.
Bye.
Night.